Dear WeGO members, partners, and friends from around the world, welcome to the WeGO 2021 Activities Kickoff event. Without further ado, allow me to invite Mr. Kyungyo Lee, Secretary General of WeGO, to deliver his welcome address. Mr. Lee?
Okay, good morning. How are you, WeGO friends? First of all, I hope everyone is healthy and happy. Last year was extraordinary in two ways. First, our physical living space shrank. It did because of widespread lockdowns and travel limitations. Second, our virtual living space expanded. Untagged online activities grew exponentially. Well, with the advent of vaccines and medicines, we hope this year will be different. We want to go back to ordinary times. Personally, I believe we can. So we are planning on offline General Assembly this year, sometime in the fall. However, I guess the new way of living will not disappear even after the virus is gone. It's because the new horizon of the virtual living space has opened a new source of comfort and happiness. Last year was extraordinary for WeGO as well. Let alone our digital activities, two wonderful things happened, contrary to our expectation. First, new members didn't stop joining our organization. About 30 cities and companies became our members last year alone. Second, our revenue didn't stop growing. The collection of the membership fees almost surpassed that of the previous year, despite the expected financial burden of municipalities. Why did those happen? Here is my analysis. First, COVID-19 awakened our awareness that digitalization and thus smart cityfication is the key to the solution of whatever problems we are to encounter. Second, with such renewed interest in smart city, they become more ready to invest in their smart platforms, and a part of it trickled down to WeGO. So it's certainly encouragement. And I take this opportunity to appreciate it and promise that we'll pay back by serving you more. As always, WeGO's New Year starts with a briefing session like today's. It's basically two things. First, it's an introduction of what we have in mind for this year. Second, it's an expression of resolution for the year, resolution to serve our members better. This year's event is coupled with special sessions for our regional offices. Abuja is a host of our new African office. Congratulations. I hope today's meeting is informative, not only for our current members, but for our future ones. And I wish you Happy New Year and 10,000 happiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee, for the welcoming remarks. Allow me to welcome you once again. My name is Todor, Corporate Partnerships and Smart Health Officer at WeGO, and I will be guiding you through the event program today. First, we will start with the annual WeGO briefing session, which will give you an overview of WeGO's programs in 2021, and will explain how you can get involved with us. Please note that there are 3 language options for the briefing session: English, Chinese, and Korean. If you'd like to select the language option of Korean or Chinese, you can press the breakout rooms button on the bottom of your screen. Select your preferred language option and click join. You will then be automatically directed to a separate Zoom room and view the presentation in your selected language. After the session has ended, you will be automatically redirected back to this main room where we will continue with the rest of the program. If you'd like to listen to the briefing session presentation in English, please stay in the current Zoom main room and the presentation will start shortly. Now, please select your preferred language option and enjoy the 2021 WeGO briefing session. Thank you. Welcome to the 2021 WeGO briefing session. I'm Todor, Corporate Partnerships and Smart Health Officer at the WeGO Secretariat. This is the second year that the briefing session is being conducted online, and this year we have expanded to include 3 other language options to better serve our members. Please make sure that you have selected the right breakout room in Zoom before we proceed. After a brief overview of the concept of smart cities and the history and current status of WeGO, I will cover WeGO's 2021 activities that fall under our 6 main activity areas: governance meetings, conferences and expos, regional networks, training programs, digital services, and the Smart City Driver. At the end of the briefing session, depending on the time, we will be receiving questions from participants. After the end of today's event, you will also receive a link to the post-event survey form, and you can submit any additional questions through the feedback form. We will make sure to reply back in due course. I hope that this presentation gives you a clear understanding of WeGO's work and how you can get involved with us. Over the past decade, the concept of smart cities has evolved from a relatively narrow focus on e-government to what is now a seemingly limitless scope of possibilities. These offer new methods for public service delivery across a range of sectors, new ways to engage society, and new ways to deliver value through data. There are many different definitions of what a smart city is, mainly ranging from using technology to improve service delivery, enhance the quality of life for all, make better data-based decisions on city operation to optimize limited resources, to increasing the overall competitiveness of a community. Despite the varying definitions, there are some common elements that we see every day in a smart city. Smart cities use data and cutting-edge technology. Smart cities have convenient services and are competitive. Smart cities have a focus on being sustainable and are friendly places to live in. Above all, citizens in smart cities are happy. Living in a smart age means that we are generating more and more data every day, and the majority of the world is moving into urban areas. For cities to respond to this, they have to be innovative. ICT helps with that by improving service delivery, quality of life, and competitiveness. At the same time, smart sustainable cities ensure that all of our needs are met: economic, social, environmental, and cultural. And not just our needs, but also those of future generations. Cities need to make us happy and keep us happy. ICT is constantly advancing and reshaping the way our societies function and how we live our lives. At the same time, it is also supporting the public sector to improve the way it works. Breaking away from traditional and outdated models of problem solving makes us smart in all facets of life that are all inextricably linked. WeGO is working to expand and strengthen these links. Our organization was founded in 2010 as the World E-Governments Organization, hence our acronym. Following a broadened mandate and a renewed name at our last General Assembly in 2017, we have been connecting local governments, corporations, and institutions, facilitating better e-government and working in many smart city sectors. WeGO is a membership-based organization for local governments, smart tech solution providers, and national and regional institutions. WeGO was founded by 50 cities in 2010 and has since quadrupled to 210 members as of this month. While the majority of members are cities, 156, the number of institutional and corporate members are growing. WeGO has 19 institutional members and 35 corporate members. We also work closely with other partners through memorandums of understanding. Now, I will explain the organizational structure of WeGO. Our secretariat is located in Seoul, the president city of WeGO. Our leadership is conducted by the vice president cities and the 18 executive committee members that have voting rights on key decisions, such as the approval of new members. The basic operational channels of WeGO are the General Assembly, which is the top-level decision-making body of WeGO and is convened every 3 years with the participation of all WeGO members, and the Executive Committee meeting, which takes place annually. Aside from the headquarters based in Seoul, some members function as regional offices for WeGO, extending our reach globally. WeGO has 5 regional offices that cover Africa, East Asia, Eurasia, the Mediterranean, and Latin America. These offices support the work of the Secretariat by assisting in the implementation of our activities and in the recruitment and support of members in their regions. WeGo's activities can be divided into 4 main categories: knowledge sharing and networking, capacity building, project implementation, and knowledge building and research. In our training programs, we collaborate with international agencies, NGOs, and ICT agencies to provide capacity building and bridge the digital divide in public administration. We also conduct feasibility studies to assess the status of members' smart city development and implement small-scale pilot projects. Besides that, WeGo organizes a number of events to expand our network and matchmake cities and companies to develop smart, sustainable projects. This slide is a snapshot of the range of activities that WeGo will be engaged in throughout the year. In full consideration of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, you will see that many of our activities are online. If the situation improves, we hope to have the opportunity to meet some of you later in the year. Now, let's take a closer look at the activities listed in the next few slides. First, let us focus on WeGo's governance activities. This year, WeGo will be hosting its 5th General Assembly. The triennial event gathers all WeGo members to discuss matters related to the operation of the Secretariat for the next 3 years, including the direction of WeGo's activities, election of a new president city and vice president cities, statute amendments, and more. A call for bids to select a host city is ongoing, so interested cities are welcome to inquire about this opportunity directly to the Secretariat. Not only will the host city gather thought leaders in the industry to set the agenda on smart, sustainable cities through diverse interactive sessions, but it will also host WeGo's 10th anniversary celebrations and the 4th WeGo Awards ceremony. Please look out for more information in the coming weeks. Next, I will introduce the international events that WeGo is planning to take part in this year. WeGo will take part in the Smart Tech Korea Expo in Seoul this June. The event is hosted by Mail Business Korea, and participation in exhibitions as well as matchmaking will be available. WeGo will also be stepping up efforts in one-on-one online discussions with new cities, corporations, and institutions to expand its network and introduce partnership opportunities through a year-round virtual networking program. If your city, corporation, or institution would like to have a one-on-one discussion with WeGo to identify partnership opportunities, please submit your inquiries directly to the Secretariat. The Smart City Expo LATAM Congress is one of the largest smart city conferences in Latin America. This event is organized by FIRA Barcelona, the organizer of the well-known Smart City Expo World Congress Barcelona. WeGo plans to use this as a stepping stone for expanding smart city cooperation in Latin America. Participating members will have the opportunity to exhibit, present, and participate in sessions. WeGo will wrap up the year with a networking event for members and stakeholders in Korea, where the WeGo Secretariat is also located. The event, called the Diplomacy for Homo Sapiens Cities, will reflect on WeGo's achievements in 2021 and will lay a sound foundation for future collaboration in 2022. In partnership with WFUNA, UNSCAP, and UNDP Seoul, WeGo will be involved in organizing Citypreneurs, a competition for startups from around the world working to solve urban issues through technology-based solutions and achieve the UN SDGs. This year, one of the programs will focus on cities in Nigeria in collaboration with our member Digizens Collaborative. Next, let's move on to the regional network platforms. The Northeast Asia Smart Cities Network, or NEASCN, aims to establish a close smart city cooperation among cities in the Northeast Asia region, initiated with the countries Russia, China, Mongolia, South Korea, Japan, and North Korea. Participating cities in the network will share their smart city development plans, identify opportunities for smart city projects, and promote cooperation with multilateral development banks and through public-private partnerships. In December 2020, WeGO successfully hosted the Northeast Asia Smart Cities Network online pre-workshop in preparation for the official establishment of the network. Participating cities shared their smart city development status and plans, proposed mechanisms for cooperation, and expressed expectations for the successful establishment of NEA-SCN. Preparations will continue this year through the development of the NEA-SCN framework and the hosting of the inaugural meeting. In partnership with the Trilateral Cooperation Secretariat, the Smart City Institute of Japan, the China Center for Urban Development, and the Korea Smart City Association, WeGO hosted the first China-Japan-Korea, or CJK, webinar in 2020. Building on this foundation, WeGO aims to hold an inaugural ceremony to officially launch the CJK Smart City platform this year. And the long-term goal of this collaboration is to identify and implement a joint smart city project among the three countries. Since the 2018 establishment of the ASEAN Smart Cities Network, a smart city cooperation network of 26 cities in 10 ASEAN countries, WeGO has been working together with ASEAN in spreading the regional initiative to the global community. This year, WeGO will continue to strengthen the partnership through organizing matchmaking opportunities with funding partners and solution providers, and by organizing the second WeGO ASEAN mayoral meeting. In 2021, WeGO will lay the foundations for establishing 2 new regional networks in collaboration with its Latin American Regional Office in Mexico City and the Africa Regional Office in the city of Abuja. These new networks, the Latin America Smart Cities Network and the Africa Smart Cities Network, will build on the momentum of smart city development in the 2 respective continents and will gather leading cities, institutions, and corporations to establish long-term cooperation in the field of smart cities. WeGO will closely engage with prospective members and partners in the new networks through its virtual networking platform, cooperation with embassies, and participation in various regional smart city events in Latin America and Africa, respectively. Now, let's take a look at WeGo's training programs. WeGo organizes several smart city training programs with its East Asia Regional Office, the Seoul Human Resources Development Center, the Korea National Information Society Agency, and the African Development Bank. Participants in these programs will have the opportunity to learn about the latest smart city trends and take part in smart city site visits and policy sharing activities. Let's take a look at WeGo's digital services. The Smart Health Responder is available on the WeGo website and was launched last year in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, the scope of the program will expand to include general public health challenges through 3 main components: Data Portal, Knowledge Hub, and Smart Health Assistance. The Data Portal provides statistics on public health and related ICT indicators, while the Knowledge Hub is the home for webinars, workshops, and discussions on best practice in public health emergency policy. Finally, Smart Health Assistance connects cities and suppliers of medical equipment and health-related ICT solutions. WeGo will continue its Smart Health Responder webinar series with an installment in late March. Later, WeGo will host a webinar in June to support our members in utilizing the Smart Health Responder platform and discuss how to enhance the platform in the future. The Smart Sustainable City Projects Catalog is an online archive on smart city best practice worldwide. This year, WeGo has enhanced the functionality of the project's catalog and will use member cases to connect with smart tech solutions in the WeGo Activator. Please visit our website to explore the data or share a case. Our final part of the briefing session is the WeGo Smart City Driver. First, you will see a short video that will help you understand the gist of the WeGo Smart City Driver.
What does your city do for you? As a citizen, do you have easy access to clean water and air? Are they convenient ways to commute? Can you count on help in cases of emergency? With rapid urbanization, cities increasingly rely on smart and sustainable solutions to improve the quality of life for the citizens. And for the most advanced cities, the power of smart tech has transformed the ability to do so. The solutions available are endless, but for many cities, they may be too expensive, complicated, or otherwise inaccessible. So where does your city even begin? How great would it be if there were a guide to help you choose, customize, and even finance the ones right for your city? We're with you. And that's why we've developed the WeGo Smart City Driver. Get started with the Activator, our online interactive platform where cities can share their challenges and diagnose their needs. In Activator, you can unlock key insights on the successes and failures of smart city projects around the world to find the best ways to approach your city's own projects. Once you've identified your needs, you can access customized solution packages through the Solution Finder. WeGo works closely with a range of solution providers and partners, which it selectively matchmakes with your city to deploy its projects. Our project implementer further supports cities with funding to jointly carry out feasibility studies and pilot projects that lead to citywide implementation. Smart and sustainable solutions are not out of reach. Sign up today for an Activator account and get started on your city's transformation with WeGo.
This is an overview of the driver's framework, which was explained in the video. As we are currently identifying new solutions, partners, and city cases to expand the driver program, we welcome your participation in the WeGo Smart City Driver. To support our members and partners to get the most out of the Smart City Driver, WeGo will organize a matchmaking workshop for cities and solution providers, and a project pitching day for smart city investors in May and November, respectively. Furthermore, our officers are always ready to assist our members through one-on-one consultations on how to use our platforms, so please reach out to us at any time. We have reached the end of the WeGo 2021 briefing session. Thank you for making time to learn more about our activities today. Please reach out to any of our officers to find out more details about the programs mentioned today. We will be very grateful if you participate in the post-event feedback survey through the link you will receive shortly. We will now proceed with the online opening ceremony of the WeGo Africa Regional Office and the Regional Office Strategy Development Workshop, where you can learn more about WeGo's strategic direction and contribute to a discussion on smart city development in your region. We look forward to working with you to achieve WeGo's vision of smart, sustainable cities for all. Now that everybody is back in the main room, we are ready to continue with the program. Please note that the link for the post-event survey form is already shared in the Zoom chat box. Please fill in the survey form as the results will help the WeGo Secretariat in planning activities for our members and partners in the future. Now we are ready to continue with the most festive part of the program today, the opening ceremony of the WeGo Africa Regional Office. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 restrictions, we are not able to congratulate our colleagues in Abuja in person, but we have prepared this virtual celebration to launch the operations for the newest addition to the WeGo family of regional offices, thus setting the foundation for closer regional cooperation on smart city development in Africa. Please allow me once again to invite Mr. Kyungyeol Lee, Secretary General of WeGo, to deliver his congratulatory remarks. Mr. Lee, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning again. First of all, my special thanks go to Honorable Mr. Abdullahi Adamu Kandidu, Executive Chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, and Ms. Abiodun Esiet, Director of WeGo African Regional Office. Total number of African WeGo members is about 50. 14 is from Nigeria, 12 cities, 1 national institution, and 1 private company. Nigeria is one of only 3 countries with more than 10 WeGo members. Needless to say, Secretariat is grateful for your enthusiasm and diligence. One might ask, why so many Nigerian members? I have an answer. Nigeria has a vision. You have a grand plan, and you want to lead the world movement for smart cities, and you deserve it. Abuja joined most recently, And no sooner had you joined us than you came up with an ambitious idea to harbor an African regional office. The Secretariat was just about to consider it. What a coincidence. And what a good luck for us. You didn't simply float an idea, but you drafted the most comprehensive visionary plan for the WeGO African Regional Office. We are grateful again. And on behalf of the entire WeGO and the Secretariat, I once again would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to the official opening of Abuja office. Without the virus situation, I should be there in Abuja in person. Secretary General was always present at the opening of our regional offices. But this is an extraordinary situation. So we celebrate in the virtual space, but my heart, however, is physically in Abuja right now. I didn't say Nigeria's vision and grand plan for the sake of rhetoric. I mean it. Abuja is already the headquarters of many organizations like ECOWAS and OPEC. Now enter the WeGO. As Secretary General, I hope Abuja takes a leadership role to spearhead WeGO's vision in Africa. You know what our vision is? Smart cities for all humanity. We want Abuja office to lead the establishment of what is called African Smart City Network as well. It's an association of like-minded cities in Africa. Southeast Asia has such a network called ASEAN, ASEAN Smart City Network. WeGO is replicating such a network in other regions like Northeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa. As Abuja office operates, I promise that the Secretariat will provide whatever support you need. And I hope in near future, Nigeria is the first place in Africa to host WeGO's triennial General Assembly. Now, I wish you every success in your undertaking and Happy New Year again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for the warm remarks. Now, let me give the floor to Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Candido, Executive Chairman of the Abuja Municipal Area Council. Honorable Chairman Candido, you may have the floor.
Thank you very much once again. And we are really delighted to have you around us. We in Abuja here were delighted to be part of this history, making event of the online WeGO Africa Regional Office opening ceremony taking place today in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. As the WeGO Africa Regional Office representative of the city of Abuja, I am particularly excited to host the operational office of the region and to congratulate Africa for the recognition of its regional office establishment as key part of the WeGO body. Abuja Municipal Area Council, as a local representative establishment, is located in the heart of Nigeria's federal capital city, one of the very few planned cities in the world, with the growing complex demand of urban housing, food security, public safety transportation, pollution, public education, crime, etc., that are so critical to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The Abuja WeGO Regional Office will build on existing and new partnerships within and beyond Africa to increase opportunities for knowledge gathering and sharing among local governments and their collaborators. It is our hope that the regional office will enhance the quality service provided by local governments in Africa, improve digital inclusion, and promote digital economic opportunities for city residents, especially among the youths and women. Pertinent among this is my earnest desire that the establishment of the regional office will energize further the AMAC quest to attaining the status of prime smart and sustainable city in Nigeria, with our e-governance system already in operation in this area council. On this note, I wish to appreciate the WeGO Executive Committee meeting for their choice of Abuja as host city and look forward to welcoming the WeGO family for its ExCom and General Assembly meetings in Africa. I also acknowledge the great support of the federal government of Nigeria through the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Alhaji Muhammad Musa Bello, and his Minister of State, Dr. Amatu Tijani Aliyu, and the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Bantami, the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Malam Kashifu Inwa Abdullah, and the Chairman of Digizen's collaborative platform, Alhaji Tijani Tumsa. I wish you all a successful opening ceremony and the regional workshop. Congratulations, Africa WeGO. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairman. It is really a pleasure to have you here today, and thank you for the heartfelt greetings on the opening ceremony. I would like to extend congratulations to Honorable Chairman Candido, also on behalf of the Acting Mayor of Seoul, Mr. Chung Hyop-seo. Unfortunately, he is not able to join us today due to commitments related to the upcoming local elections campaign here in Korea. So please allow me to congratulate you once again on his behalf. Next, allow me to invite Mr. Kashifu Inwa Abdullahi, Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency in Nigeria. Mr. Abdullahi, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Vincent Olatunji. I'm representing the Director General of NIDA, Malam Kashifu Inwa Abdullahi, who has directed me to represent him because, due to other commitments, other national commitment that is attending to this morning. So on behalf of the Director General of NIDA, Malam Kashifu Inwa, and the entire management of the agency, it's a pleasure to join you today at this activity, WeGO 2021 activities kickoff, and in particular, the virtual commissioning of the regional office in Abuja. It is indeed a great pleasure for us in Nigeria to be chosen to host the Africa Regional Office, which is all about promoting smart and sustainable cities across the continent of Africa. On our part in Nigeria, we joined NIDA as a government organization in Nigeria, as well mentioned by the Secretary General, that there are some government organizations, local government and private organizations who are members of WeGO. NIDA, being a government organization, joined WeGO in 2016. As in then, we've been very committed to the cause of WeGO, more importantly, in the area of promoting smart cities in Nigeria. And we currently have a national e-government master plan, which we're implementing in Nigeria. We also have a national digital economy policy and strategy under the supervision of the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, and NIDA is fully involved in the implementation of this policy and strategy. And these are necessary as support for AMAC when we were to compete for the choice of the Abuja, the regional office for Africa. And we are glad to the entire management of WeGO for choosing Abuja, for making Abuja their choice of the Africa Regional Office. And we are really committed to this cause, as we already do a lot of things in the area of capacity building, the area of government digital services, which I believe are very closely related to the aims and aspirations of WeGO. And we are going to continue in this light. We're already working with AMAC, that's the Abuja Area Municipal Council, to ensure that the appropriate structure and whatever we need in terms of resources to set up a reputable office for WeGO in Africa is put in place. We're already working with AMAC to assure this. In the area of activities, initiatives, projects, we are closely working with AMAC and some other local governments in Nigeria to build capacities of personnel that will assist in ensuring that we promote smart city initiatives in the country. Currently, we are working with AMAC to ensure that we touch the education sector. In those other local governments, we are touching the agri sector to ensure that we promote smart cities across the country. And as already mentioned by the Director General, that we should promote smart city for all humanities in Africa. We assure you that through the regional office, we're going to work with some other African countries to ensure that we promote this. And in terms of having smart city network in Africa, as already mentioned by the Director General, we are going to ensure that we work with AMAC too to ensure that we achieve this. We already deployed some of our staff to work with AMAC to ensure that the takeoff of the office is smooth, because all we're trying to preach is to be able to provide government digital services in a very smart, moral, accountable, responsive, and transparent manner to ensure that we improve the standard of living of our citizens and in order to achieve sustainable development goals. And this, we believe, we're able to achieve with all of us working together, because it's not something that anybody can do alone. Government cannot do it alone. Private sector organization cannot do it alone. But on behalf of the government of Nigeria, I want to assure you that we're already creating an enabling environment for all stakeholders to work together, to partner, to be able to ensure that we achieve smart and sustainable cities across Nigeria and by extension, Africa. So on this note, we'd like to congratulate the Secretary General and the executive members of WeGO. We'd like to congratulate the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and the Honorable Minister of State. We also like to congratulate our Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy and the Chairman, AMAC, and the Director General of NIDA for putting this up, for vying for this post, for this hosting of the regional office for Africa in Nigeria, in particular in Abuja. And we promise that we're going to work with AMAC to ensure that we achieve the aspirations, the aims, and the goals of WeGO Regional Office in Africa. Thank you very much. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vincent Olatunji, who congratulated the ceremony today on behalf of the Director General of NITA in Nigeria. And thank you once again for reassuring us of the commitment of NITA and also other relevant authorities and institutions in Nigeria. Now it is my pleasure to invite Ms. Abiodun Esiet, Director of the WeGO Africa Regional Office, to deliver a presentation about the vision and future activities of the new regional office. Ms. Esiet, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Viren. Thank you. And I have the presentation now. Thank you to the WeGO General Secretary. Thank you to all members of WeGO across the world, and majorly members of WeGO that are here in Africa. Special thanks to my mayor, the executive chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, for the opportunity and the privilege for us to launch this vision of bringing innovative digital ideas to Africa, and also setting the space for other African local government to embrace smart city solution. I want to thank our partners that are here, NITDA, Digitizen, and all other local government in Nigeria that are part of WeGO. So as we know, Abuja is a planned city with a smart vision, the capital of Africa's largest economy and population. It's also the host of ECOWAS, OPEC, World Bank, and also some of these African Development Bank and UN agencies. It's one of the leading planned cities in Africa. On our strong partnership, we believe we can do it all alone ourselves. We need to partner with other agencies We have participated in 2020 WeGO Drivers Workshop. We have some of our activities listed below on the screen, as you can see. And we're doing this with partners like NIDA, GTZ, and other partners like Ventures Platform, who are ICT innovators in Nigeria. The next slide, please. So our vision is to build a smart, sustainable, innovative, and inclusive cities within the African context of oneness, which we refer to as Ubuntu. Because in Africa, we believe that we exist together because we are one. I am what I am because you have what you are. So we believe in that oneness, and we are bringing that context into what our vision to drive the smart city solution in Africa and in line with the WeGO global vision. So our mission is to strategically identify city problems within African city through a well-articulated innovation ecosystem. AMAC just launched this ecosystem mapping result with the help of one of our partners, Ventures Platform, to identify some of the key stakeholders and players within our ecosystem, and also to seek how we can collaborate with other partners to bring out a smart city solution. So we're hoping to share this vision and idea with other members of African continent on how we went about our own ecosystem mapping. The second mission is to develop programs that provide solutions to cities' problems in partnership with the WeGO Secretariat and also our partners. The third one, our mission for the African Regional Office, is to recruit new members into WeGO and also ensure active participation of members in WeGO. The next slide, please. Okay, now to our strategies. We'll be talking more about this at the breakout section for the Africa region. Our strategies is strong, effective partnership using our region and sub-regional approach for effective collaboration and engagement. We hope to draw up new members and new executives for the regional office from the different regions, from the West Africa, from the Southern Africa, Central Africa, from the East Africa, so that we all work together to bring about the best in the regional office in Africa. We want to embrace digital platform to drive promotion and awareness of WeGO Smart City programs, engage cross-sectionally with private sectors and NGOs to maximize impact. By this, we want local government to understand that they can exist alone. They need to partner with private sectors and also private institutions, government institutions around them, and NGOs to bring about maximum impact in their smart city solutions and initiatives. We also want to facilitate the conversation on smart cities in the region. We want to work with national authorities within Africa to deepen the WeGO program and initiatives across the entire region. Our programs, our targets and programs and activities, we'll share more about this during the breakout section, is establishing an African Smart City Network, as the Secretary General has proposed. That is similar thing is also happening in Asia, as a foundation for creating more impact in the region. Through that, we are hoping to use multi-stakeholder partnership, support smart city agenda, capacity development for our cities, to secure sponsorship for some of our initiatives in WeGO, and also improve service delivery, because the main assets of any local government is improve service delivery and bring about citizens' engagement in governance. And we hope to achieve that through our target and program activities for the regional office. The next slide. Here you can see this is a structure of our regional office. We are hoping to expand more by bringing in representatives from other African regions, because we know we have some of the active members of WeGO across the African region. So we hope to have representatives in our structure for the Abuja office to represent other Africa region and help to achieve some of our aims and also some of our targets for the year. Next slide. Okay, so the African Regional Office is prepared to work with and support our members and partner with a mission in achieving a smart cities for all Africa countries. I think that's the last slide. The last slide is all about our different online social media platforms that you can connect with us. So you can also email us at abuja@wegov.org on a Facebook page. We have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter handle, and also an Instagram. Thank you so much for listening. We hope to share more about our activities and business plan for the regional office during the African regional section, breakout section that will be coming in shortly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Esiet, for the wonderful presentation. We really do believe at the WeGO Secretariat that there will be great synergy between us and the Africa Regional Office to propel smart city development in the region. And we wholeheartedly welcome all of the ambitious plans that the regional office is planning with our corporation. Now we'll proceed with a very fitting virtual ribbon cutting to congratulate the WeGO Africa Regional Office once again officially. And for all participants, actually, if you have the newest version of Zoom, you can also send your virtual regards by pressing the reactions button on your screen, and then you can select one of the icons there, for example, the confetti one or the clap one. So once again, congratulations, and now we will have the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Should I? Oh, it's okay. Just like the Regional Director of Africa, our sister said, made her remarks, I would wish to further congratulate Africa and the WeGO experience here. We in Abuja, like I said in my speech, was seriously delighted to be part of this digital world. We are very ambitious in order to make sure that we keep what the world is into. Therefore, on behalf of all of us here, I wish to cut the ribbon to congratulate the commencement of activities for Africa as we go. Congratulations.
Now to the cake. I think it's time to cut the cake right now. The chairman has to cut the cake, please. Can we put the camera on the cake?
This is beautiful.
Okay. So the WeGO members, staff can join the chairman and also executive members.
Yeah. The cake is not.
Yeah,
Is
it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay now.
Okay. Yeah, we can see the cake now. Chairman can go ahead. Jane.
So let us just spell WeGO. W-E-G-O. WeGO.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again to all of our colleagues in Abuja. It's really a shame that we couldn't join you guys on the spot, but at least through this virtual platform, we're all able to share this moment together. So once again, we're really happy to welcome you to the WeGO Regional Office family, and we're very much looking forward to working together in the future. Now we can continue with the program. Dear members, partners, and friends, we can proceed now with the third part of today's program, the WeGO Regional Strategy Development Workshop. This open workshop brings together WeGO members and partners by region to learn about smart city strategy best practice and WeGo's 3-year strategic goals, and participate in a discussion with colleagues on identifying ideas of collaboration to work together with WeGo in each region. Allow me to give the floor to my colleague, William Sheffers, in charge of city partnerships at WeGo, who will give us some more information about today's workshop activities. William, you can have the floor.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us today. In the interest of time, we're just going to jump straight into this program. Thank you, Toto, for the introduction. So for part one of this, we will see a presentation from Ms. Minju Chang, who's the director of the Smart City Division of Sejong City in Korea.
Hello, it's a great honor to have a chance for this presentation. I'm Minju Chang, the director of Smart City Division of Sejong City. Today, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about Smart City Sejong. First of all, I want to tell you background information about Sejong City. Let me explain the background of the birth of Sejong City. If you look at the chart, Korea's overcrowding problem in the Seoul metropolitan area is very serious among the major countries in the world. 1 out of 2 Koreans live in the capital of Seoul. The Sejong City project was carried out to solve the problem of concentration in the Seoul metropolitan area and realize balanced national development. Sejong City is being developed by the central government with a budget of $18.9 billion. The first stage of development has been completed since the development began in 2007. And the second stage of development is being completed. Currently, the population of Sejong City is about 360,000. Sejong City distributed 6 urban functions around the green axis to make urban spaces green and allow citizens to share them. Sejong City's green area ratio is 52.4%, and the whole city is same as a park. Central administrative agencies and state-run research institutes were the first to relocate in the urban development process. Sejong City is a de facto administrative capital of the Republic of Korea, as more than 67% of central administrative agencies are located. All public buildings in Sejong City are being constructed through a design contest. The Sejong National Library, which has the shape of the opened book, was selected as the best library in the world. And the Presidential Archives, designed based on the storage box of the seal, won the IDEA Design Award in the United States. Sejong City Hall in the shape of the ship sailing to the Kumgang River, the government building in the shape of dragon, have also received design awards from numerous organizations. Sejong City is becoming a beautiful city with these buildings in harmony. Sejong City is specialized in autonomous driving. With Sejong City recently designated as a special autonomous vehicle regulation zone, various autonomous driving demonstration projects are being promoted. Also, we are focusing our efforts on leading the autonomous car industry in conjunction with Sejong Smart National Industrial Complex, High-Tech Industrial Complex, and universities and research institutes. Sejong City has been investing $131 million in building smart city platforms in 3 stages since the urban planning stage. Currently, the second phase of the project is completed, and 17 smart city services are provided to 360,000 citizens. In recognition of this achievement, Sejong City was selected as International Certification Policy for Smart Cities with Cambridge, Moscow, Melbourne, and Dubai from the British Standards Association in 2018. In December of that year, we acquired the world's first international certification of maturity in Smart City ISO 37106. And last year, in succession to these achievements, Sejong City was certified as a leading smart city by acquiring level 4 of ISO 37106 for the first time in the world. The British Standards Association said The Sejong City's vision, smart data investment, and smart city infrastructure and communication channel management are among the world's best. From now on, I would like to introduce Sejong National Palace Smart City Project, a very special smart city being created by Sejong City. The reason we make another smart city is to create an innovative industry ecosystem where new technologies related to the fourth industrial revolution are freely demonstrated and connected through smart city projects, and creative business models are implemented based on them. The 5-1 living zone in Sejong City was designated as a National Palace Smart City in January 2018, and it is being constructed as a national level by investing $1.25 billion in the state funds by 2026. The basic philosophy of Sejong Smart Cities National Palace City is City of Sustainable Platforms to increase citizens' happiness and provide creative opportunities. In order to ensure flexibilities in urban spaces, all areas were designed as mixed-use zones, breaking away from existing urban design methods. Based on this, we reflect the creativity of the private sector in the city. Sejong National Palace Smart City is a data-based city and is a city of AI and blockchain. Sejong National Palace Smart City designs cities through city data and digital twins collected by AI and data centers and provides convergence services. In Sejong National Palace Smart City, regulations are eased through regulatory sandboxes, and smart technologies that have been blocked by regulations can be demonstrated, and business models can be created. Special purpose company consisting of public and private sectors will be established by the end of 2021 to carry out integrated urban operation management and urban infrastructure constructions. And Sejong City will eliminate the huge burden of urban operating expenses and create a sustainable smart city. The Sejong Smart City International Forum is scheduled to be held in this April of this year to share smart city technology and know-how, and to proactively discuss and suggest solutions to urban problems that the world is concerned about, such as Corona-19. The forum will consist of 6 sessions, including sustainable and safe city, eco-green, and energy-effective city, which will be broadcast worldwide online in light of the Corona-19. We look forward to your interest and participation. This is what we had so far for this presentation. I hope to work together with WeGO on test beds and share smart city technology and know-how in the future. Thank you all for your time and attention. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ms. Minju Chang from Sejong City Smart City Division. I would now like to welcome our good friend Graham Coakley, who's a partner of Urban DNA, a company that works in smart city and urban development in Europe and around the world. Graham, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much indeed, and good day to everybody. I would like to spend 10 minutes just teeing up our thinking prior to a breakout session, which is the action part of today's activities. So let me do 3 things very briefly in terms of that. The first would be to remind ourselves about why we're doing what we're doing in terms of the challenges that we face. Common challenges, different cities. The second is to provide some form of stimulus and shape and focus to the thinking, and I'll use an example of that from a region to start thinking about what regional plans might actually be. And the third is really to frame the breakout session. So let me spend 10 minutes doing that. And then we have 20 minutes, which will be a good start rather than a completion in terms of starting to really think about what are the key needs and challenges for each of the regions of WeGO. So let's start with the world. What we face, as we've heard, is a massive and very diverse set of needs, very common challenges. So it's about understanding those differences. There's one chart which tells me a lot. In my lifetime, the world will triple in population, and that is the cause of many challenges that we all know about. We're now seeing and feeling those really happening in our daily lives. The question is, how do we best respond to that? But that balance of population exists in very, very different forms and will change substantially. So this chart looks at the top 20 cities in 2010. And as you can see, they're somewhat more biased towards the north of the world. If you project that to 2100, both the size of the cities, so massive urbanization, and also the focus in terms of those top 20 cities in the world fundamentally changes. So how do we respond to that and ensure that we maintain the right quality of life in the aging infrastructures of existing cities and generate new cities in fresh, new and different fashions when we face enormous challenges? Well, I think there's two rather good things that we'll tackle two fairly substantial challenges that we face. The first obvious challenge is that of COVID. We feel it, we see it, it will have a long tail. And the second is beginning to be realized far more in our lives in terms of how we respond to the sustainability agenda. The power of humans to deal with that is absolutely vast, where there is a will. And I think our question now is how to generate that enthusiasm, that mindset, to actually take action, and the right action in the right way. The second is the transformative power of new technologies. That's both the physical technologies and the digital, and more particularly the data. So those are the two levers by which we can really respond. If I take the smart city lever in terms of the technology, there's a very different bias in terms of how we see smart cities in different regional areas. The States in America are somewhat more commercially biased, Europe somewhat more sustainability and socially biased, and Asia Pacific perhaps more technology. But what's going to happen in Latin America? What's going to happen in Africa? Hopefully we can generate the power of all three of those different perspectives. And I think that poses the question of how the different regional offices understand the current context and where they're going to move to, and how they can work with other regions as a network in WeGO to make that all work. So I popped up here a working definition from ISO, which is 5 years old now, but I rather like it because it focuses on smart as the means, sustainability and resilience as the goal, and it identifies four axes for improvement: engaging society, collaborative leadership methods, working across disciplines, and appropriate use of data and integrated technologies. So smart city from an ISO perspective is not just about technology, it's actually about purpose first. And what's important in here is the idea of dramatically increasing the pace by which we make change happen, and that change is transformational for society. So looking at an example of a region, this is not the best practice, this is good practice, but it gives you a little bit of a thinking in terms of how perhaps in your different regions you'll set things up. So in Europe, there are three pillars of action at the moment. One is through Professor Masukatu, the idea of mission statements. And we have 5 missions, one of which is climate neutral and smart cities mission. Somewhat more top down in terms of influence and funded by the European Union. So there's a purpose and there's funds to go with that purpose. The second is a convening action, which is the Smart Cities Marketplace, seeking to be the go-to place in Europe for smart cities, smart sustainable cities. which is seeking also to do some matchmaking activities and is tackling 20 or so challenges in terms of thematic action. And the third is a funded mechanism where the second is not funded. The third is a funded mechanism in terms of taking what is now 18 programs and 130 cities to actually demonstrate improvements in terms of the outcomes through the application of smart technologies. So those 18 programs, what have they been doing? Well, they pulled together a portfolio of multiple measures because all of the programs are effectively tackling the similar energy-based scope. And they've mapped where do we have advantage for scale and where do we have advantage through standardization. From that, they're understanding the portfolio of activities and solutions they want. They can then apply some focus to the ones which are, shall we say, priority A, where there's real opportunity for standardization, common approaches, and scale advantage, demand aggregation, to actually package up solutions in a way that they can be rapidly scaled, in a way that they can be adapted to every city, but based on a common core. And then finally, the aspect of bringing demand together with the means in terms of investors to implement the solutions for society. And here's a very specific example of that, which is the Humble Lamppost, one of the 20 initiatives in the Smart Cities Marketplace, where we're seeking to address what is 100 or so million lampposts and actually move them from just producing light to being multi-purpose infrastructures. My question to you would be, in your region, what is that portfolio of solutions that can advance the cities? And what is the one or two very specific quick wins that perhaps could be implemented and stimulated by WeGO activities? So that's a little bit of a regional perspective in terms of one of the regions. Now, having been involved in the development of the WeGO Master Plan, I rather like the title, Reinventing to Transform Cities and Connect Society for the New Frontier. That poses the question of that grand challenge, responding to that grand challenge, and the three strategic pillars, which I hope that you'll be familiar with in terms of the digital transformation of services. So Todos took us through what the activator and the health responder can do in terms of providing both the content and the process to support digital transformation at pace. And that's a wonderful set of assets in terms of the driver to actually move forward. The second is in terms of growth, and the Secretary General took us through the plans for growth, the success in 2020, even with the downturn, and here one number of tripling members by 2030. So that's an ambition which is quite substantial, which then requires the third pillar in terms of reforming the way that one governs the whole mechanism. So those three pillars, again, hopefully familiar to you. These specific charts are made available on the breakout rooms that I'll take you through, but just putting them up there so you're familiar with them. Pillar one, service transformation, exploiting the power of digitization and producing better quality content that all the regional offices can co-develop and use. The second pillar in terms of growth, so a tripling of members, already some wonderful progress to be seen, and congratulations, Abuja, from actually grabbing a hold of Africa and really expanding activities in Africa. And then the third in terms of the governments, what mechanisms, what protocols, what capabilities are needed to be put in place to actually make that happen. So I've rattled through that. There's a strong need, there's some good examples of activities in regional activities, and we've got a new master plan for the next and important decade within WeGO. So what does the regional office do? It's important from the standpoint of understanding what does smart and sustainability mean within your region and localities within that. How can we respect the differences but build around some common agenda items? How can we build trust from the community? And in terms of top right, what can the regional offices do in terms of understanding what are the current regional framework conditions, developing a compelling brand, engaging market actors from all sectors, convening, championing, mobilizing, setting goals and monitoring outcomes, and finding some very practical and scalable solutions for your regions. So that's really the questions that are posed in the breakouts. Let me leave you with a couple of quotes, which I rather like. A good plan, violently executed, well, at least a good plan executed now is better than the perfect plan executed next week. So it's about pragmatism to move forward. And from Arthur Ashe, great tennis player, start where you are, use what you have and do what you can. So with those thinking, those quotes, the aspect of good pragmatic approach and strong passion from individuals can make extraordinary differences. So time for action. We're going to move to a breakout mural wall, and in that, for each of the different regions, there will be a different breakout group. On the screen here, you can expand, contract, and go into your particular breakout discussion. There are 3 questions or 3 columns that I'd like you to add some post-its to, start the conversation, add some post-its individually, and then look and see what is beginning to emerge in terms of your thoughts around the current baseline. What is it that we're working from? The second column is in terms of what are the key services that will make a difference. And the third column is around aspects of governance. I think what would be useful to think about in there are perhaps developing through the conversation 3 key points that fall out, particularly for the second and third column. So what are the 3 key points that you can perhaps synthesize and discern in terms of the services that you can focus on this year and the steps you can take to improve the governance within the region? So that's the task that we've got. We've got 20 minutes to do that. It will be a good start. Hopefully it allows each of the different regions to focus on what matters. And then we'll come back together just by way of a short pause for close. So perhaps Will and Todor, you can take us through how we dissolve ourselves into 5 different breakouts.
Thank you very much, Graham, for the insightful presentation. It's always a pleasure to hear from you and from your experiences. So Graham has set the tone for us and explained what the task is. I know some of our participants had some trouble joining the breakout room. So do remember that there are 3 breakout rooms in addition to the main room. So please select the right one that should have popped up on your screen now. Next slide, please, Chris. Here are instructions to join the breakout room. At the bottom of your Zoom screen, you can click on breakout rooms and then join the relevant room you would like to participate in. And then on point number 3, we're going to have a very open discussion. So please use the reactions button and raise your hand so that you can get our attention, and then we can call on you to make your comment or question. I'm just going to ask my colleague Anna, who's responsible for the China region room, to just please kindly give the Chinese participants a quick instruction based on the slide. Anna? Okay, it seems she has already joined her room. So please do start to move to your particular room. If you look on the pop-up, there's the main room, there's the Asia Pacific room, the Mediterranean Middle East room, and the Africa room. We will start the conversation in each room in about 60 seconds. So we will see you there.
Just a reminder once again that everybody who stays in this main room, this is going to be the Europe and Eurasia Regional Strategy Workshop room. So in case you'd like to listen to this session and participate, you can stay here. If you'd like to join any of the other breakout rooms, please do so according to the instructions. You can select the breakout rooms at the bottom of your screen with the button breakout rooms. So we'll give you a few seconds just to settle in, and then we will start with the Europe Eurasia Regional Strategy Workshop in this room. Thank you. Okay, Chris, as soon as you're ready, I think we can also share the Miro board for the Europe Strategy Workshop. Thank you. Okay, before we start, I'm going to set the timer. It's already been set. So we have around 20 minutes for this short workshop session. Welcome once again to all of our participants from different parts of the region in this workshop for the Europe and Eurasia Regional Strategy Development. So what we're going to do is, as Graham explained to us, we're going to divide this workshop into 3 small blocks. The first one is going to outline the current trends and challenges in the region. The second one is going to focus on the specific city needs and possible solutions. And the third one is going to focus on regional activities. On the Miro board, this is the platform that we're going to use for this workshop. My colleague Chris is going to take down all of your comments and suggestions. And just to remind you once again that this is going to be an open discussion. So in addition to the questions that I will pose to some of the participants, you're free to also give your input by using the virtual hand raise, which you can access with the reactions button on the bottom of your screen, or you can unmute yourself and give your comment verbally. Thank you. So for the first part, which is called the baseline, I wanted to outline once again some of the key trends in Europe and specifically the European Union. Some of them were touched upon by Graham just a few minutes ago. But first, let me tell you that WeGO has around 30 members in Europe and Eurasia. This includes the European Union, Russia, the Caucasian region, and Central Asian members as well. These include local governments, a regional office in Ulyanovsk region, institutional and corporate members. By working together, WeGO aims to increase its presence in Europe and deliver more services catering to the needs of members and partners in this region. One example for our cooperation is last year during our WeGO XCOM 2020 event, Moscow City in Russia was actually the host for this event. And Ulyanovsk region representatives are also here today to take part in the discussion and develop together the regional strategy for Europe and Eurasia. So as Graham mentioned, some of the focus in recent years in Europe is very much related to sustainability, interoperability, and openness of the civil ecosystem while ensuring fundamental human rights and data protection for citizens in the region, mainly through the European Union institutions. One of the key mechanisms for doing this is the recently announced European Green Deal, which is the new growth strategy aiming to transform the European Union into a modern, resource-efficient, and competitive economy by 2050. The main goals of the action plan are to boost the efficient use of resources by moving to a clean, circular economy, and to restore biodiversity and cut pollution. As part of this overarching strategy, the European Commission also adopted an action plan in 2020 on the design and production for a circular economy. And according to early forecasts, the ambitious plan aims to increase the EU's GDP by an additional 0.5% by 2030, creating an additional 700,000 new jobs. In addition to this, Horizon Europe is a new research and innovation framework program, which aims to fund 5 separate missions. And one of those missions is specifically dedicated to smart cities. It's called the Climate Neutral and Smart Cities. The target of this mission is that by 2030, to promote and showcase 100 European cities in their systemic transformation towards climate neutrality. One other key trend that we have been observing since last year is, of course, related to data protection, data gathering from citizens, and this was very much related to the COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, in Europe, in the European Union, there is a strict policy on personal data protection, the GDPR legislation in the European Union, which, however, proved flexible enough so that to accommodate some of the solutions needed in emergency situations, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. So these are some of the overarching trends, but this, of course, extends outside of the European Union as well, since this region also encompasses countries in Russia, Central Asia, and the Caucasian region. In Russia, for example, we know that the digitalization of public services has also been on the rise in recent years. And we would also like in this section to actually hear from some of our participants how those trends in Europe and Eurasia are actually reflected in your respective regions. And we would like to see if there's anything that we miss and that anything that you think is also an important trend in recent years in terms of smart city development, sustainability, and digitalization. So I think I see from our participants, Alexander from Ulyanovsk region, our regional office is here. And you can see on the mural board that we have already put down a lot of those trends. But maybe if you can hear us, Alexander, you could also give a comment how those trends also apply to Russia, for example, or to Ulyanovsk region. And would you like to mention anything else that we could also include here as a baseline trend in development?
Hello, Todor. Hello, dear colleagues. If you don't mind, I will switch my video camera off in order not to overload the connection. Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you for giving the floor in this discussion. Dear colleagues, greetings from the Eurasia Regional Office, Ulyanovsk region, Russian Federation. In this short remark, I will try to share some ideas covering the discussed agenda. So first of all, we are here and keen on international cooperation, particularly focusing on training programs and workshop webinars. So here, referring to your dashboard, I would like to highlight the importance of the workshops and webinars and training programs. Mm-hmm. We think that WeGO can create an important step in this direction, and we are really grateful that WeGO provides numerous opportunities for trainings, for workshops, for webinars. And so here we are looking forward to new information and agendas for opportunities for training programs. And in return, we would like to share, and I would like to take this opportunity to let our colleagues know that Eurasia Regional Office has a flagship project which is called the annual webinars devoted to e-government, smart cities, and related technologies. So the floor is open for colleagues to share some ideas about the topics of the prospective webinars. So previously we devoted our webinars to various topics and ideas and trends. So nowadays in 2021, we are also thinking about the annual webinar, and we can reflect the suggestions from our colleagues in the Eurasia office, Eurasia region, and also from our other colleagues, to suggest some topics for this webinar. So I will try to stop here, and Todor, maybe you will lead this discussion later on.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Yes, your input was very helpful, and we can actually discuss specifics about proposed programs in the future in a few minutes in the final part of the workshop. But I also see that my colleague Leon and also a lot of partners and members from the Mediterranean and the Middle East region also joined our workshop now. So I would also like to say hello to our Mediterranean Regional Office, because I see that Melis is here. Melis, if you can hear me. Okay, I think they can join in a few seconds, but yes, so we have representation from that region as well. And because of the close proximity to the EU, I'm sure that a lot of the trends are also giving their effects on the respective regions as well. Okay, so moving to the second part of our agenda for today, in the middle section of the board, you can actually see the services chart, the services board, in which we have outlined some possible needs that cities in the region might need. So basically, here we have presented some possible needs that cities of the region may have when planning and implementing smart city policies. So these might be related to technical assistance, access to finance, implementation, planning, and of course, the impact of COVID. So this is also one of the big topics that has been concerning cities, especially in their smart city project planning since last year. So we were hoping to hear from some of our participants what kinds of needs and what challenges does your city and your region face when planning smart city projects. So here I would like to give the floor to some of the participants if anybody is willing to give their input. And I think that I can see from our participants, we have representatives from Gaziantep in Turkey. If the colleagues can hear me from Gaziantep in Turkey. Okay, I think we can try with Dr. Safa, if you can hear me in the workshop room. Dr. Safa from Ramallah City. Okay, we can try in a few seconds. Ramallah City is actually one of our very active members with which last year we also implemented a project, and they participated in the WeGO XCOM session for the Smart City Driver in the second half of last year. I think that if we don't have any other comments for now, I think I can go back to you, Alexander, from Ulyanovsk region, and maybe you can share with us a few of those needs and challenges that you have identified in Ulyanovsk region, and something that you think could be improved in the future when planning smart city projects for the cities in the region.
Thank you, Todor. A little bit overwhelming, of course, to share some ideas during this just 20 minutes and actually 5 minutes to cover everything. You know, it's virtually impossible. So I think that the most important thing right now is to focus on something very feasible, like training programs, like webinars, and it is the situation when less is more. And that's why I'm sorry, but in this format, it is very difficult to just cover and to describe the whole needs and requirements and everything that is expected from your side right now. So, but anyway, thank you very much for this opportunity. I think that we can proceed the discussion. And once again, I want to invite our colleagues to follow the news feed, and we hope that we will launch another webinar soon, and we will try to figure out the topics for discussion that is interesting for all colleagues and members of the WeGO. So let's, Todor, focus mainly on the training programs and webinars. I think in the current situation, it is feasible. We can plan these activities in the future, and we can expect great outputs here. So what do you think about it?
I agree with you, Alexander. Of course, absolutely. This is just the starting point of a discussion. And as you said, it's going to continue in the future. So this is, of course, in the allotted time, it's impossible to list all of the challenges and needs, but it's still something that is going to be open. And this is just a stepping stone for continuing this discussion forward. So as you said, one of the things that Ulyanovsk region would like to develop more together with the WeGO Secretariat is, of course, webinars and training programs. And this is, of course, the focus of the trend since last year as well. So maybe depending on some of the needs of the region, maybe you can identify some topics or any suggestions that might be valuable to you and to participants in the region. If you have any comments or input on that, we can also think together and just brainstorm a little bit in the remaining few minutes. What do you think?
Todor, thank you very much for your suggestion. I think that we should use this these 2 minutes to express our sincere regards to all the participants, and from me to you, and from the Eurasia Regional Office to WeGO especially. I think that we need to take some time and to collect the expressions and to collect our needs, and then maybe in the coming weeks to share it with you and WeGO, and then according to the needs of our colleagues in the region, you could return to us with your vision and opportunities that WeGO can provide for us. So at the moment, from the scratch, I cannot share right now on behalf of our colleagues. We need to do a sort of internal discussions, and after these internal discussions, I can share the needs that are interesting for us. I think that we could use this as a starting point for the future discussions that we can do, like using emails or some easier and straightforward tools. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. I agree with you, and I think that your suggestion is great. Of course, we'll need some time to plan and design those programs together with your input later. But as you saw today from the briefing session for WeGO in 2020, we have a variety of different programs and activities that are going to unfold in the future for this year, but also in our short-term strategy until 2023 and our long-term one until 2030. And I think that together we can identify many topics that we can implement together, also with the help of other members and partners. Just from the top of my head, I can tell you that one of our upcoming programs at the end of March is going to be related to smart health and the current challenges that cities in different regions experience related to COVID-19. We know that a lot of regions now are on the verge of vaccination policies and different smart solutions to continue combating the virus. This is what's happening in Korea as well. So this event is going to focus on the regions of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East as well. So this is just from the top of my head, something that we can continue discussing together. And of course, as you said, there's a lot of grounds for upgrading and developing design programs so that they serve the needs of members, partners, but also prospective new members and partners in the region. And with that, I would also like to thank Alexander once again from Ulyanovsk region for your participation, and to all of the participants for joining this room. We have a few seconds left, so I think that this board that we actually created today is going to be a work in progress. And of course, with all of your input, we can continue developing different programs and activities. So thank you so much. And just in a few seconds, all of the participants will gather once again in the main Zoom room. Thank you.
Hi, Todor. So people are moving back into the main room at the moment, if I understand correctly.
Yes, that's true. We are actually in the main room right now, so everybody should be joining us very shortly.
Jolly good. Jolly good.
As my colleague Alize just shared in the chat box as well, I think that the survey form that we shared with participants is going to be of great help to the WeGO Secretariat, also for all participants to give your input on what kind of programs and activities you would be interested in the future. And then, of course, with the continuation of those discussions, we can design those programs together later.
Yes, thank you very much, Todo, and thank you everyone who was in the rooms for the discussion. We realized the time was very short, and we are definitely going to reach out to set a time and date to bring you to the table to continue this conversation. I'd just like to introduce once again Graham to just have some final thoughts before we wrap up.
Yeah, thank you, Will. And indeed, the task of defining a strategy in 20 minutes has defied us all. I said at the beginning, it's about making a good start. And I think that's the important thing. It's to bring the various different parties together to look for each of the regions at what is distinct in the region. What are the particular challenges you face? And what are some of the very specific ideas around solutions? And I would suggest the boards will probably remain open, that the process needs to continue to engage regional colleagues to really come up with some great ideas to find those very small number of very specific things that can make the WeGO activities distinctive and action-oriented and pragmatic. So that would be, I think, key things. And I saw some in the Africa room as an example, some really interesting discussions and slightly different ones in Asia Pacific in terms of some of the ideas that could emerge. For me, the key thing is to use that today as a good start, and perhaps for the WeGO HQ, if you like, to facilitate and convene an aspect by which different regional strategies and plans evolve, and that the regions can network to exploit the benefits and the power of WeGO on a global scale. So for me, a good start, and it's really important that regions pick up and do the running now. So that's my observation as well.
Thank you very much, Graham, and thank you everybody for making time. This was the first for everyone, so we thank you very much for your patience and understanding through the process. We will share all the presentation materials as well as this board once we synthesize and fix it up, and we'd like to have this be an ongoing conversation. We will be coordinating with each regional office to reach out to the participants from today to continue the conversation. And also we'll be sharing a link to the a survey link. So please let us know what you thought of our workshop today. I'll now hand back to Todo.
Thank you, William. And I think that with this, we can proceed with the closing of today's event. A big thank you to all WeGO members, partners, and friends for joining us today for the 2021 Kickoff event. We look forward to working together with you throughout the year on various programs, and we hope to see you again virtually or in person very soon. Thank you, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Just a reminder once again about the post-event survey that you can fill in through the link that was shared in the group chat. So once again, have a pleasant rest of the day and see you soon.